What up, social media world? What up, YouTube world? Finally made it to my top 10 horror movies from black directors to the number one on my personal list. And if you ain't know it was coming, you should have known it was coming. We got number one, Sinners. Directed by Ryan Coogler. Now, before we get into the movie and before I talk about it and give my personal review, you see I got the horror shirt on, represent all the sinners throughout horror history, the well-known ones. You know, of course, we got Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Hellraiser, we even got the It clown on his John. You know, Jason, everybody. You know what I mean? You got the ball from Scream. You know, everybody on this joint. You know what I'm saying? Representing Philly all the way, baby. Now, let's get it in with this review. Ryan Coogler from Los Angeles. All his movies is based in Los Angeles, most of them, or he give reference to them. And I like when directors do that. He had a handful of movies, but all his movies have been, in my opinion, really, really good. You know, some people may grade him a 10, and like me, some may rate him lower than that. But in my opinion, I don't think Ryan Coogler directed a flop yet. All his movies been on point. He take a lot of time when he do his movies, you know, and do a lot of research when he do his movies. So I give him much credit, much respect for that. He became one of my favorite directors recently. You know, just doing his thing, man. When he do his thing, he put a lot of heart and soul into his directing and his movies. He gave us Fruitvale Station that came out a while back with Michael B. Jordan. You know, directors got their favorite actors they like to work with. And Michael B. Jordan is one of the actors that they've been working with since day one. And he's been in most of his movies, believe it or not. And if you ain't seen Fruitvale Station, you got to check that out. Based on a true story about a young boy coming from this event with his friends. He got a young child with him. He a young parent, and he get a rash from the cops on the station, and they harass him so much they actually kill him. And they kill him right on the station, based on a true story as well. So you have to check that out. Now, of course, we got Black Panther. You know, first time it's been brought to the screen ever, and I'm just really happy that it was done by a black director. The story has to be told through our eyes. Then we had Black Panther 2. You know, then we had, then he gave us the Creed movies. Now, with the Creed movies, he only did the first one. I think he produced it, the second one. And the third one was done by Michael B. Jordan. And I got to give Michael B. Jordan his props because he really, really did his thing on directed part 3 of Creed. But the first Creed was done by Ryan Coogler. Like I said, he did a phenomenal job with all his movies. Him and Michael B. Jordan is actually from the same area and around the same age as well. Right into the movie Sinners, what it's about. Starring Michael B. Jordan as the main character. He played two people in this joint. He played two twin brothers, which I gotta say, one of his best performances he ever gave on screen by doing these two different characters. I may say he does a phenomenal job playing these two characters. One named Smoke, one named Stacks. Smoke is all about that smoke. You know what I mean? Straight to the point, where it's hard on the sleeve, the more the serious brothers. Stack, he's the opposite, totally opposite. He's joyful, happy, he has charisma. He's one of those people that you like automatically. You know, he's just a person. His character is a person that you naturally would like right away. And those are two differences of the brothers. And it's set in the 1930s, 1932 to be exact, down Mississippi, down south. So we already know the things that was going on during those times. And they're two gangsters, hardcore gangsters, They don't go too deep into their background, but they do have military experience, and they known ruthless gangsters, and they trying to set up a juke joint down south. And those who don't know what a juke joint is, it's just a place, what back in the day down south, everybody that live in that particular community, place they can go at to drink, to dance, sometimes gambling may be involved. It's kind of like whatever happens type of place. You know what I mean? Go there and listen to some good music. They usually have soul food there. That was popular down south food that they be having there, and drinking and all that good stuff. Go there to listen to some music, get your dance on. Maybe hook up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to get this event going on, so they got the help of this two Asian couple that was the planners and the suppliers of getting the stuff together for the place. One of the brothers, Smoke, is a wife he left behind. He finally get in touch with her. She does the cooking. He get her to do the cooking. And the sharecropper dude, they named Cornbread, a character that you see in a lot of movies. He still got that young face, even though he older now. But I remember seeing him in the movie 8 Mile. So he's the bouncer at this joint, and he gets the crew together of people. Delroy Lindo was in this joint, one of my favorite actors. I got introduced to him and a couple of the Spike Lee joints that he was in. Clockers. He also was in my favorite family movie, which was Crooklyn. And he also had a part in Malcolm X. He was the numbers runner guy, the head number runner guy that when my Denzel played Malcolm when he was in his gangster street days, he was working for him. He played Delta Slim in this joint. Harmonica, famous for the harmonica, a magician. He was supposed to have been a legend back in the day. And he also played the piano in this joint. And everybody chip in to do their part. And then with the people that they leasing this place from, getting the place and buying it from, is this racist dude that happens to be part of the KKK, found out later on. Now, with all that being said, that's not even the meat and the potatoes of the story, because the story didn't even start yet. That's just the getting you prepped and ready. And the people that see this movie already know exactly what I'm about to get into and what I'm about to talk about. The meat and the potatoes. It kind of remind me of From Dusk to Dawn. If you really think about it, people that see this movie, if you're a fan of horror and you didn't see From Dusk to Dawn, you need to be shot. The reason why I say this movie was like From Dusk to Dawn, because you gotta think about it. It was based on 2 brothers. They wasn't twins. But you take away that fact that it was 2 brothers, 2 criminals that happened to come face to face with some vampires. Now, I watched a lot of movies and a lot of vampire movies. All vampire movies throughout Hollywood and throughout the centuries, like going back, watch them old ones up to the new ones. And I ain't really see a premises like that, a storyline based on 2 brothers that's criminals fighting vampires. I might be wrong. I ain't watch every single vampire movie ever made. If you did, definitely chime in and let me know, was it something, but they similar on them 2 vibes right there. Similarities. Directed by Robert Rodriguez. A lot of people may misnomer it as being a Quentin Tarantino movie because he was one of the main characters in this movie, and both of them was kind of the similar, situation. Both of them was brothers, gangsters, that happened to get into some shit. That's all I'm about to say just for now until I get into the meat and the potatoes. So here's where the story starts. White boy in the woods, walking by himself with smoke around him. that right there make you be like, what the fuck is up with this weird character coming onto the scene? And he happens to be Irish. The actor did a tremendous job, man, a real wonderful job with playing this character. And the production crew that helped Ryan Coogler put these characters together, these people to play these parts, they did a phenomenal job getting these people to play these particular parts, because he did a great job playing his character. So he goes to this house, knocks on the door, let them know he's looking for whatever, he's stranded. And he happens to look in the corner and notice that they have Ku Klux Klan, KKK outfit in the cut. So, you know, they part of that shit. So they talking to him, and, you know, they looking at him kind of weird because he's kind of like too jippery and too happy. And you know when a person is too jippery and too happy, you automatically get some vibes about him. So, you know, they look in his eyes, and literally they look into his eyes, and his eyes start glowing. And then he attack him. Now they don't really show how he attack him or whatever, but that's when you know he's not part of this world. So now there's 3. That's when you know he's not part of this world. That's when you know something's up with this dude. So later on in the story, you get one of the girlfriends, ex-girlfriend of Stack, you know, the jippery happy brother, you know, his ex-girlfriend, who happens to be mixed, even though she looked white in the movie, but she happened to be mixed. She the person that interacts with these 3 now. First it was him, the Irish boy by himself. Now he got these 2, and they happen to go to the joint, the juke joint, where they having this big celebration in the community down south. You know, the thing that the brothers hook up, and they want to come invited. So they come and, you know, knock on the door. And so the 3, they go to the party. You know, the brothers, they just getting the vibe, like Smoke, definitely getting the vibe, like, who the fuck is y'all? You know, and the other brother, Stacks, he just like, yo, man, just invite him in, you know, that's money, you know what I'm saying? But the other brother, he like, nah, something up with these people, you know what I mean? So, you know, as the point is already put out there that they're vampires. You know, you can't invite a vampire in. No, the vampires can't get in unless you invite them in. That's just the rule of, like, how the spirit realm works. So the girlfriend I was talking about, Stack's ex-girlfriend, the mixed girl, you know, she goes out. You know how it is in these horror movies. Come and find them and see what they're about. And like try to, I guess, persuade the brother to get them to come there, whatever. She goes out there, talk to them. The whole time they standing there playing a little tambourine and shit, singing fucking songs and shit. Funny as shit, you know what I mean? And then she get bitten. And that's when hell breaks loose. Because we already know vampires are sensuous creatures anyway. So she goes back to the John and hook up with Stacks, and they, you know, flames start to, you know, things start to happen, you know what I mean? And that's when all hell break loose. She bite him, turn, you know, blood everywhere on the floor everywhere. She runs out of the house, you know, becomes part of the crew now. It's 4, you know, she turns the brother, you know what I mean, slowly into one of the demons from hell. Now when the brother gets bitten, you know what I mean, you know, his brother still looking at him as a brother, you know, they like, we can help him. You know how it be. People always think they could change a person when they join that dark side. So the brother, you know, he using his little seductive talking ways, and he turned into one of the creatures of the dark, and he goes out, you know, escapes, and he becomes part of the crew. So now it's like a domino effect. So the Irish boy got a whole crew of people with him, and he sees everything through the people eyes that he recruits, and he has no discrimination, folks. He don't care. He don't care what color you are, what race you are. You know, at first he got the Ku Klux Klan people, then he just started recruiting everybody that wants to join, you know, the crew, you know what I mean? But the main person he wants, and this is what the story surrounded around, is the fucking cousin, you know, that I forgot to mention, who was a guitar player. He's one of the main characters from a religious background. His dad is a pastor and everything. He tells him that the music he doing is sinful, and the blues music is sinful, and it invites unwanted entities, and it's used, you know, for bad. And that's what the movie surrounds. It shows how that brings out your inner sin and everything when the music is played. And that's what this vampire is intrigued and want, because he wants this young boy named Sammy. He wants his soul, and he want to use the music as a way to control people, that tool. Everybody plays a part of this movie, which I like. Every character has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And even spoke. You know, his wife he left behind. She's into hoodoo, not voodoo, because people think hoodoo and voodoo is the same thing. Voodoo, for people who don't know, is more of a religious thing from Haiti. Hoodoo is just a practice. That's all, a spiritual practice of a lot of different things and spells and everything. So she plays a big part, you know. A lot of people had criticized the movie. They said it wasn't good. So people said it was just okay if it had took out the racial tone and the prejudice. They talked about the prejudice. They talked about the racism and all the other stuff, the undertones in the movie. They said that could have been a good movie. They would have took that out, didn't focus too much on that. But for people that said that, you got to understand, this movie was made in the 1930s, folks. 1932 to be exact. And we making a movie back then, and if it's involving black people, you have to talk about the racial undertone that was going on. Because we was living on hell on earth. Shit, we living on hell on earth right now. But we really, really was living through hell on earth back then. So it had to be talked about, you know what I mean, to its core, for sure. And I'm sorry for jumping all over the place, folks, like this with the story. But when these main people of the story get trapped in this house, because that's what they become trapped. The ones that didn't get bit yet and are still alive, they all got a team together and fight against these crew of vampires waiting for them outside trying to get in. So when that breaks down, man, and they finally like confront them beings, it goes down, man, and it goes down heavy. You know what I mean? It goes down heavy. And people that watch the movie know exactly what I'm talking about. Those who didn't see it need to go and see it. It was well directed. Cinematography was great. Storyline was some people may, you know, say this and that about the storyline, but I thought the storyline was pretty to the point. But the people, the characters they got for this movie, man, they did a tremendous, great job, each one of them. So I give them all their props. Michael B. Jordan for doing his thing, playing the two twins. Even the girl that Sammy liked, you know, she played her part, and the movie definitely, I think it was called Sinners because it was talking about the music and how it was used, you know, for evil and all that stuff, and it brought out the sinfulness of people. But I also believe it represented, the main characters all represented the seven sins as well, if you peeped it. So you didn't go and see that, John. I think you really need to go and check out Sinners. It came out in April of this year. And that's my list. My final movies, the number one of my top 10 movies, horror movies from black directors. Now, this is a topic that's real rare because you rarely hear about black directors doing horror movies, because that's a lane that we don't really travel in that much. We kind of stay away from that realm, if you get my drift. But, you know, we don't usually do horror. That's why instead of you know what I mean, the horror movies, the black people, it won't be a movie. It won't be a movie at all. It's number two. It's two things of horror movies that's been a tradition for years. The mold kind of been breaking a little bit. Usually, when we sense something, we get the fuck out of there. Real talk. Or second, like most all the times, we the first one to get killed. You know what I mean? So, with them two factors, that's why, you know, black movies don't. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna stand around and try to figure out what's going on. What's happening over there? I hear a ghost. Let me go and see what it is. Hey, who's there? Hey, what's that noise? Nah. We don't do that. But I'm gonna go deeper into why you don't see a lot of black directors doing horror movies in my next video I make. Why black directors don't do horror movies. Well, we do them. A lot of independents, black directors, well, we probably just don't know, but mainly in Hollywood I'm talking about, and in general, but mainly in Hollywood, why a lot of black directors don't tap into the horror genre. But I hope you like this video. Leave a comment. Definitely subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Peace.